So Doom the Dark Ages is not only the latest entry of the long-running legendary FPS franchise Doom, but this game also happens to be the prequel to Doom 2016. And in the events of Doom the Dark Ages, we once again follow the Doom Slayer, the Slayer, as this game concentrates on his efforts to save humanity during a war against hell. And what I just said right there, even though I know this game has been out for a little over a month now, and I do apologize that this review is a bit late, but still, for those of you who have not played the game, what I just said is just literally just scratching the surface. It is just a tip of the iceberg. Before I continue on with today's video, I just wanted to say welcome to my channel, everybody. For those of you who are coming by my channel for the very first time, be sure to hit the subscribe button to miss a future video, whether it's a feature review, a reaction, a top 5, top 10, or whatever I've coming your way, and join me on my journey to 10K subscribers and beyond, because believe me when I say this, guys, you are not going to want to miss the cool stuff I have coming your way. And for those of you who are coming back to my channel, by the way, welcome back, everybody. You have no idea how happy I am to see your faces once again. And let's also start our conversation below as well. What did you guys think of Doom the Dark Ages? And I do apologize once again that this review is a tad bit late, but regardless, guys, let me know below which one of these three latest Doom games is your favorite. Is your favorite Doom 2016? Is your favorite Doom Eternal? Or is this one your favorite of these three games? Let me know below. Alrighty, guys, so let's get into Doom the Dark Ages. I am a massive Doom fan. I have loved Doom ever since my first exposure to it, and that was, if you can believe it or not, guys, my first Doom game was Doom 3 on the original Xbox. Yes, the game that is pretty much, in terms of first-person shooter games, the least like Doom, because that game does focus more on sort of horror elements rather than just like a run-and-gun gameplay style that Doom is known for. I love Doom 2016. Doom Eternal, in case if y'all didn't see my picks of my favorite games of this decade so far, Doom Eternal is one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time. Like, I absolutely fucking adore pretty much every bit of Doom Eternal. And as y'all can imagine, when I had heard that id was going to be making a new Doom game, let alone a prequel to Doom 2016, and that game would be not only Doom the Dark Ages, but it would essentially be more like a medieval Doom game almost, where the Doom guy, the Doomslayer, would essentially be like a freaking powered up steroid barbarian version of Captain America from all the footage that I saw. I was really looking forward to this game, even though I did have my reservations about this game, knowing especially that the game didn't look nearly as fast as Doom Eternal, which once again I love, and knowing all the stuff involving the music of the game, knowing that Mick Gordon, who composed the music for Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, would not be coming back. Instead, Finishing Move, I believe, Inc., or just Finishing Move, to the music for the game instead. And I was a little bit worried knowing that those two things especially were happening. But guys, I am very happy to say that Doom the Dark Ages still rips. It still tears, but I will say there are some things about this game that I will say, some gripes I have, some issues I have with the game, but really, when I look at the majority of the things I like about this game, Doom the Dark Ages is a really, really good, almost a great Doom game. Starting off with the most obvious thing that I can talk about when it comes to Doom the Dark Ages, really any Doom game, especially ones that are made in this era of id Software's games, the game is absolutely stunning. Whether it comes down to the level design or the art direction or even the cinematics, because this game is a bit more of a story heavier game compared to Doom Eternal and especially Doom 2016. Doom the Dark Ages is an incredible looking game with levels that essentially feel like these open battlegrounds. There is one thing in particular that I was a little worried about, and that was if Doom the Dark Ages was essentially going to be an open world game. That is not the case here. Each level is a big, wide, open battleground where the Slayer can just go around, ripping and tearing and throwing that shield, that Captain America shield, and just blasting things left and right. Exploring each level, especially when they get to closer to the end of the game where you enter essentially, without giving too much away, a more cosmic realm. For those of you who have played the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Its engine of this game was seriously flexing big time. And by the way, the footage that you're seeing recorded here is on an Xbox Series X. And by the way, I was playing this thing on my OLED TV right there. And holy crap, this game on Xbox Series X on my screen, this thing looked seriously epic. And Doom the Dark Ages has, I believe, come the closest to what Hugo Martin has wanted for the franchise since Doom 2016. At least that's for what I believe and what I got out of Doom the Dark Ages. The cinematics, like, this is easily the most cinematic a Doom game has looked. And the cinematics in this game are definitely, to say the least, they are absolutely jaw-dropping. In particular, there are a couple of moments in which I actually did, wow, that is bad ass. Doom the Dark Ages is such a beautiful looking game that I really did spend quite a bit of time when I wasn't trying to get to the next set piece. This is a game that I really did spend quite a bit of time just exploring these open battlegrounds that id Software has designed for you just to freely explore and to not only, kill demons, rip and tear, but to also discover the secrets hidden within. And speaking of which, guys, going on to the next obvious thing I can talk about here, and that is the gameplay. And one thing in particular that I have to praise id about what they have done for not only just this game, but really these 3 Doom games, is that each Doom game feels significantly different. And I really like to praise Hugo Martin, Marty Stratton, and pretty much everybody involved for really making each Doom game feel drastically different from the last. Where Doom 2016 was essentially run and gun, don't go undercover, but just keep moving around, shooting demons, getting those glory kills. Doom Eternal was more like jump, shoot, move around, shoot, get your shields up, get all your ammo back, get your health back, just keep going all around, jumping, shooting. Doom Eternal was essentially just like a death battle. So it's a death dance, making sure you're doing everything you can, avoiding everything while getting your glory kills in, your health, ammo, and your shields. That game was relentlessly kicking your ass, but it was a game that kept constantly building you up every time you died. And then getting to Doom the Dark Ages, the main goal of the game is this: stand and fight. Now, while the primary motto of the game was stand and fight, it's not like the game is expecting you just to stand and just do everything. You still have to do your jumps, your strafes, you're going around, you're pairing the moves, but essentially, guys, the main motto of the game is just to stand your ground and beat that demon's ass. And once again, I cannot praise it enough for making each game feel different. And to that extent, I actually do believe that Doom the Dark Ages does feel closer than ever in some certain ways to classic Doom, because like I mentioned you guys earlier, each level in Doom the Dark Ages is essentially like an open playground, an open battleground where the Doom Slayer is not only killing demons but finding the things that he needs to go into the next area. So really, in more ways than one, Doom the Dark Ages more than ever feels like it harkens back to a classic Doom game. And I really do have to praise id Software once again for not only making Doom the Dark Ages really closer to feeling like a classic Doom game, at least in my eyes, but once again making this game play drastically different from the past 2 Doom games. Once you get into the rhythm of how this game plays, you'll find yourself strafing, parrying, and just shooting the fuck out of a demon, getting onto that final kill, either using your whip, your glove, or your shield saw. In this case, you're just knocking a demon out and not only getting your health, but in some cases getting your shield and your ammo when you use that flail, which is what I use the majority of the time once I got the flail. The gameplay in Doom the Dark Ages, this game makes me feel like a roided out barbarian with a Captain America shield with spikes, razors, a chainsaw shield. That's the most basic way that I can describe this game. You're really like a roided out barbarian with a Captain America shield on steroids. That is legitimately the best way I can describe this game, and this game is just so much fun. Doom the Dark Ages once again succeeds in its most important goal, and that is making you feel like an all-powerful badass that cannot be stopped. There are 3 essentials to making a great Doom game: great level design, awesome combat, but most specifically, awesome kick-ass music. And like I mentioned you guys earlier, one of my biggest concerns when it came down to Doom the Dark Ages was knowing that the composer of this game was not going to be Mick Gordon after all the controversy, which is very unfortunate because I'm just going to say this again. Mick Gordon's music for not only Doom 2016, but for Doom Eternal was, as I guess the kids would say, the secret sauce of the newer Doom games. Like, Mick Gordon's music was the thing that gave you that extra adrenaline shot so you would actually feel like the Doom Slayer. However, and with that being said, I do think that Finishing Move did a very good job of carrying the torch from Mick Gordon and putting their own stamp on the Doom franchise. Finishing Move, I thought, did a very good job of bringing that heavy guitar and that sound that Doom is most known for and doing their own thing with the Doom franchise. I thought they did a very good job. There are so many incredible moments that legitimately had my jaw drop, and it just made me think, holy fucking shit. This is metal. This is awesome.
Ah! God damn it!
However, and I do have to be honest with you guys, while I really like Doom the Dark Ages quite a bit, I unfortunately didn't love Doom the Dark Ages. While I did think it was really good, the issues that I have with this game, I feel like hold it back from being a great Doom game. The first big issue that I have with this game is, honest to God, the story of this game. Doom games aren't really known for their stories. I mean, Doom, if you've played any Doom game, it's really just you, as a Slayer, going around, running around in each area, blasting, wiping away demons, and getting to that next awesome big demon boss battle that you just want just to rip and tear and just kill and just get to the next bit. While I really do appreciate the effort that it did in wanting to tell just this big medieval power fantasy with a great story in there, the story of this game didn't really get me as hooked as I wanted to be. I mean, sure, why you do care obviously about the Doomslayer, because, I mean, it's the fucking Doomslayer. Why wouldn't you care about the Doomslayer, for God's sakes? But everything else surrounding the Doomslayer were characters that I just didn't really seem to give a shit about really otherwise. Now, while there is a character from Doom Eternal, I believe it's King Dovik, I believe that's his name, who you do encounter very early on in the game, this character in Doom the Dark Ages doesn't really have a whole lot to do. And once again, he is a character that, while I am very grateful that there is connectivity between this game and Eternal, the emotional attachment that I wanted to feel from him and this one particular character that has this big role in Doom the Dark Ages, these two characters in particular, I could tell that I was supposed to have some type of attachment to them, but I didn't really end up caring for these characters. While Doom Eternal definitely experimented with some cutscenes, if you ask me, Doom Eternal was the perfect balance of having some story in there, but really focusing on that kick-ass, pushing forward, metal as hell gameplay with all the glory kills that you can expect, and you just murdering demons left and right. Doom the Dark Ages, I personally feel, I think, weighed too heavily on the story and the cutscenes, and a story that, once again, I could tell that they were trying to do something big, epic with this huge medieval themed power fantasy. The story definitely does have some awesome, this game's story definitely does have some awesome moments, but those moments are unfortunately very far and few in between a game that really doesn't feel like it didn't really need a story. I mean, sure, definitely had those big epic cinematic moments, but the game's story just wasn't quite there for me really compared to really what they were doing in the previous Doom games. Those epic moments are far and few in between a story that really, in all reality, I didn't really find myself getting that emotionally attached to. I just wanted to get back into the game and just keep throwing my shield and shooting back demons, parrying everything. And the game, I feel like what I do to care more, and personally, I didn't care so much. There was a particular element that I really liked in my pros, but I do have to be honest with you all, I have more negatives to say about this, unfortunately, than I do have positive things to say. And fortunately, it's the music. Now, once again, and do not get me wrong, Finishing Move did a very good job with the music of this game. But here's the thing. Filling in the shoes of such a legendary composer like Mick Gordon, especially of Andrew Hulshult, it's a very daunting task. And I do have to say that once again, Finishing Move, I thought, did a very good job of providing their own music, their own stamp of the Doom franchise. And I'm not saying this because I'm a massive Mick Gordon fan. I'm not saying hashtag justice for Mick Gordon, even though I do think that Mick Gordon was treated very harshly. And I do also think that Mick Gordon did provide with some incredible music from Eternal and Doom 2016. But that's besides the point, guys. Doom's music was another character of the game that provided you with that extra shot of adrenaline to keep you going forward. And unfortunately here, while Finishing Move's music was very good, a lot of the time the music, I gotta be honest with you all, it felt like more like background noise rather than just in-your-face force that made you go like, oh, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers right now. It is hard to follow in the footsteps of a guy that made some of the greatest metal music for Doom. It absolutely is. And while Finishing Move did do a very good job, it just wasn't at the level I was hoping for. There was a certain bit in this game into which I kept on getting my ass relentlessly kicked, and I was listening to their music, and just to test it out, no joke here, guys, I put on the track from Doom Eternal, The Only Thing They Fear Is You, and I'm not making what I say is two, guys. The moment that I put on this song and re-entered this one battlefield, I annihilated everybody. It's Doom music, absolutely for certain, but it's not the level that I was wanting it to be, you know? It just wasn't quite there. Knowing the Doom Slayer could fight in a mech and ride and fly a dragon, how could that be not more medieval and not more power fantasy-like? But there are more than a few times in these sections we're just relying on, okay, dodge, hit, parry sometimes, but dodge, hit. Now, once again, there are small sections, there are small areas throughout these sections where there are some epic ass moments. But really, for the majority of the time, it really is just you just dodging, punching, dodging, shoot this thing, dodging, punch. Even though they have some really cool moments, will not deny that. So overall, while I do think that Doom the Dark Ages is the weakest game of these current Doom games, at the same time, Doom the Dark Ages is a game that still rips, tears, and it is a damn good time. All in all, I'm going to give Doom the Dark Ages a 7.5 out of 10. While I unfortunately do believe that this is the weakest game of the current Doom games, at the same time, this is still a very good game. It's a damn good time that still rips and tears, still a very good Doom game. I hope you all enjoyed my review of Doom the Dark Ages. If so, please hit the like button, or if you dislike this review, hit the dislike button. If you guys want to see in my previous two videos, please click it right there or right there. And of course, until my next review or video goes live, I will see you all next time.